Good morning, students. So in the last class we discussed a bit about the concept of electric lines of forces, its properties, isolated charges and their properties in lines of forces. Now we will discuss about the concept of your electric flux. So electric flux is one kind of lines of force only. Only the difference is, in case of electric flux we are talking about in a particular area how much or how many number of lines of forces are passing. Like we already discussed about the crowded lines of forces which gives strong electric field and the spread out lines of forces which gives weak electric field. So if in case of a crowded one we are going to put any region, any area, then it will always comprise of much number of lines of forces. So in the same way, from flux we can write, we can say that electric flux through any given area held inside electric field is the measure of the total number of lines of forces passes normally to the given area. So this is the definition. So here what we are discussing, see, electric flux through any given area held inside electric field is the measure of the total number of lines of forces passes normally to the given area. So see, if you will draw the diagram, let us consider a crowded lines of forces. That means we are talking about strong electric field. This one let us say electric field, and the electric field nature is quite strong. So let us consider we are going to place any area. So here is another one. The two areas are being placed like this, in such a way that, like this, when we are talking about it, that means the area is placed like this and the electric fields are coming and going like this. So now if you consider about a spread out electric field, then this gives you the idea about a very weak electric field. So if you are going to place any region here, then you can see the difference easily. For this area, the number of lines of forces are quite large as compared to this area. The same thing is happening here also. So that the definition satisfies in this diagram that electric flux through any given area held inside electric field E is the measure of the total number of lines of forces passing normally to the given area. So if you will place this paper like this, that means the electric field is now coming like this. So every time the lines of forces of the electric field are held perpendicular. So we will discuss about very clearly. So let us consider. So here we can write electric field is the quantity of electric flux. Electric flux is the quantity of lines of forces. So see, so when it is quantity comes here, that means we can say electric field is a vector quantity, whereas as flux is the quantity of lines of forces. So it only gives the idea about the magnitude of your lines of forces. So it is considered to be a scalar quantity. So always remember, electric field is a vector quantity which contains the magnitude and also it has a proper direction. But whereas in case of a flux, it only gives us the idea what is the number of lines of forces passing in a particular area. That's why flux is a kind of scalar quantity only. Okay. So let us discuss more about this concept. Let me give an example. Let us consider we are having a in that one, so water is flowing in a particular direction. So when, let us consider I am drawing the diagram. Let us, this is a pipe. Here will come on. Let us say water is flowing in this direction every time. Now what we need to do, we are going to place another pipe, which is the collecting pipe, and the water which is passing through this collecting pipe, that means through this process, when the water is going inside this one, it has a particular area. So we can say now the pipe has a face towards the electric field. So when the water will come here, they will go inside it and will collect it here. Let us consider another example. Instead of that area, this area, let us say I am going to increase the area of the collected pipe. Then see, you need to find the difference. So if I will ask you a question, if I will place this collected pipe here and this collected pipe here, then obviously every time this collected pipe is going to collect more amount of water as compared to this one. So it depends on two factors. Like for example, there is a window and here you are, and wind is coming from outside. So if you will calculate total amount of wind coming to your house, then you can see it depends on two factors. One, it depends on what is the velocity of the wind. If the wind velocity is too high, that means the amount of or the quantity of wind passing inside your home is found to be more. Or we can say the intensity of wind. If it is more, then you will get more amount of wind here. Or if the area, like this is the area, so the amount of wind coming through it, if you will decrease the area, obviously the quantity of air coming inside the room found to be decreased. So the amount of wind you are going to get in your home depends on two factors. One is intensity of wind, with how much speed the wind is moving. Another one is the area of the window you are considering. So that here also the same thing happens. Let us say it is having an area of A1, area of A2, and the condition is A2 greater than A1. Now what you will see, this is like electric field. Water when it is coming out in a particular direction, it is like electric field. It gives a particular direction. So electric field has a magnitude, has a quantity, also has a direction. So electric field is a vector quantity. But here when the water is being collected, we only are calculating what is the amount of water collected in this particular beaker. We are not calculating the direction of it because it does not contain direction. That's why as after the collection of the water, we are only calculating its quantity. So if you will going to take a look at this and compare this with our system, the direction of water coming out from the pipe is like the electric lines of forces. Is like the electric lines of forces. Like this is the area, electric lines of forces coming out for this one, and the area which we are considering, that is these areas. When the area will increase, the amount of water is going to pass through it start to increase. The same way when the area of the region is going to increase, automatically more number of lines of forces are going to pass through it. So when the electric field is coming to a particular area and we are calculating the quantity of electric lines of forces inside that particular region, that's why the quantity of lines of forces gives us the idea about flux. That's why flux is always found to be a scalar quantity. So this is a quite necessary concept. The question may come, two more question. Define particularly why electric field is a vector quantity whereas electric flux is a scalar quantity. There we need to write electric field gives us the idea about the quantity amount of lines of forces as well as the direction of lines of forces, whereas electric flux is only give us the idea about what is the total quantity of lines of forces held inside a particular region. That's why electric flux is a scalar quantity whereas electric field is a vector quantity. So the electric flux depends on two factors. Like here, if I will say here, then you will get your wind flux here. So if you will talk about the electric flux, then electric flux depends on the intensity of electric field. If the electric field is strong or crowded, the number of lines of forces inside a particular region held or area held is found to be always more. and also it depends on the area. If the area will be more, it will help more lines of forces. More lines of forces. So you need to remember this. So now we will go to the mathematical part. So see, as we got from the example that flux depends on the intensity of electric field and also it depends on the amount of area we are talking about. So mathematically we can write flux depends on electric field and depends on the area. So that will be a question arises. Till now we considered that area is a scalar quantity, but in case of this one we will consider that area is considered to be have a particular direction. So how it can be possible? So we will discuss about it with a proper example. Okay. So before that, so see, here we need to calculate. Here we need to calculate direction of area. Okay. So see, let us consider if you will go, you are having a region from your vector chapter. You already calculated how to find the area of a parallelogram. Clear? Got this one. That's why if I will take this one as vector, this one as vector A, let this one as vector B, and I will draw a perpendicular. Then let's this will be theta. So this will be always comes as your B cos theta. This will be always comes as your B sin theta. We know about this one, and we know that the formula for area is equals to length into width. So if you are going to place the value, then how much you will get? This and this. So we will write your A times B sin theta, or we will get A B sin theta. This one. A and the perpendicular one, AB sin theta, which gives you the idea about the area of a particular parallelogram. Okay, got this one. Okay. So always remember this one. This is the reason. That's why we are going to calculate that your electric flux is considered to be your represented by this one. The symbol is phi E. It always represented by E dot A. So now the question arises that why we are calculating this as in the form of your dot product and not cross product. So now we will draw a diagram. Always remember this one. There are two formulae will come. One case you will get only EA. One case you will get EA cos theta. So these two cases are different. So now we will discuss about this particular case. So let us consider there will be one region, one area, and let the electric field is going like this, and the phase. So see, when I am talking about area as vector, that means we are talking about with respect to electric field, in which direction the particular area is facing off. Like for example, this is a particular paper. If the electric field is going like this, and let us say if the area is like this, that means this structure is placed like this, inclined, then the area vector will always representing in which direction the surface is facing. So this is the electric field. So this is the direction of surface. So or else see, if I will say that let the electric field is like this, now the area is facing upward. Got this one? So that area vector is always found to be like this. It is coming out. So it depends on that with respect to electric field, in which direction the area of the considered area is going to face. If the electric field is, let us say, coming like this, and let us say the area is facing toward that, so area vector will be represented by a perpendicular with respect to the surface. So here the area will be represented always by n cap, because we are calculating the direction of it. So it must have two components. One will be E cos theta, one will be E sin theta. So see, area vector and the E cos theta component are now parallel to each other. So when we are talking about the electric flux, we need to write that this is the area vector. So your flux phi E is equals to E cos theta times your area. That's why we will get your E A cos theta. This is the expression. If this theta is 0, theta 0 means the direction of electric field and the direction of area vector are found to be similar. And if theta will be 90, that means the direction of electric field and the area vector are found